The young man fell asleep just like that, and when he woke up, he found a girl lying next to him. Terrified, he quickly covered himself with the quilt, having no idea what had happened. He wondered if they had actually consummated their marriage. The queen woke up the instant his hand touched her cheek, showing an embarrassed expression. She had no choice but to change the subject and asked how the man had slept the night before. At this moment, Xiaoqian didn't know how to respond. He could only say that he had slept quite well and asked why the queen was here. The queen explained that she returned late last night without waking Xiaoqian up, aiming to silence the gossiping ministers in the court. Sleeping separately on their wedding night would surely stir rumors, and she would send some people over today to attend to any of his needs, she continued, saying that she would come by from time to time. But she felt sorry for summoning him here for her own selfish desires. Then, the queen gracefully left the room, watching his wife's graceful figure. The man inwardly admired her, thinking that it was indeed a privilege to be kept by such a magnificent and beautiful woman. It seemed that good days were beckoning to him, urging him to enjoy his time. However, he assumed that his wife must be leading a rich life every day. Holding a confidential note in her hand, the queen asked why the situation in the north had deteriorated so badly. A girl with dark skin and a hot figure responded that there had been frequent movements among the barbarians, fearing that someone was manipulating things behind the scenes. According to spies, the sage of the barbarians had already left their royal court. The queen angrily declared that the old fool had actually come out personally, forcing her to lead a campaign herself and behead him. In a few days, General John would accompany her to march north, showing their enemies the true power of the Great Flame Dynasty, which had grown over the years. 3 days later, early in the morning, the heroic queen asked the General John beside her if everything had been arranged properly. General John assured her that Linger had been secretly protecting him and there would be no issues. However, she mentioned that the queen loved the prince too much, who was actually quite useless despite being a grown man. Yet, what she didn't know was that just by lying next to the man for one night, the queen's cultivation had inexplicably improved, and her strength had greatly increased. Furthermore, in just a few days after marrying Xiaoqian, the fate of the Great Flame Dynasty had become much more stable, and the queen looked evidently more radiant and feminine. With a command, the assembled army marched north. As the queen led the troops on the expedition, a woman suddenly appeared on a tree branch not far away.